Hi guys, and welcome back to the world of 28mm. I'm Adam, and in this week's episode I'm going to show you how I make textured paint. So let's get down to the desk and get messy. So to make your textured paint you're going to need three main ingredients. First of all is going to be some filler, basically poly filler. I think you can pick this up in the US, but it's called spackle. So we're going to need some of that. You're going to need something to give it some actual texture. So here I've got some fine grained sand. It's all kiln dried. This was from Macterials, but I sell a fine grained sand. Go and check out my my eBay shop. I'll put in the link in the description below. So that's your texture, and then you just need a colorant. So depending on what sort of terrain you're doing, if you're doing, in my case I'm going to use this on some tree bases, so I want just normal brown soil. So I'm going to use this colour here, which is Wilko's Nutmeg Spice, and it's a little bit light for earth, but it does the job quite nicely. So I've always done this by eye, even the very first time I did it. I went to do this tutorial for you and I thought no, I wanted to give you some numbers. So what we'll do is we'll make some up now and I'll show you the quantities that I use. So get your scales and tear off the cup first so the weight of the cup isn't included. And then we're going to take 100 grams of filler, which is usually about a golf ball size. I'm just doing it super messy. So we've got 60, 80, won't get much more. 93, there, 102. So I know you probably can't see the numbers. So we got 102 grams in there. Just take the excess off. Probably better off using a spoon. I just like getting a bit messy. So we've got 100 grams of polyfiller in there. We're then going to add an extra, or it's 15 grams of our fine grained sand. This is 102, so we're going to take it up to 117. So there's our fine grained sand, and then finally we want 8 grams of paint. Oh, this one's a bit low, I'm not sure I've got 8 grams in here. So I'm going to need 106. $126, sorry. Well, it might just be enough. There, 126. Okay, so we've got everything measured up. I'm just going to take this off now, put that to one side. Get yourself a stirry device, be a bit of a bit of wood. I'm using like baby spoons because they're plastic and you can bend them so it chips it all off after you're done. So I'm just going to give this a good mix together. Now bear in mind when you do mix it, the whiteness of the polyfiller will lighten up your paint, but as it dries it will go back to normal again. Make sure you get all the sides and right to the bottom of the cup. Now this 100 grams that we've just made, this will do quite a bit. I'll probably get about 10 tree bases out of this. See my tree bases in my tree videos, I'll put the link up in the top corner. I usually get about 10 of those, or 10 sets should I say. But this 100 grams, you know, if you've got an army to base, then this will certainly do it. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick look at that. You can see now we've got a nice brown. Hopefully you can see the grains of sand in there. And that is your textured paint. So, to apply it, I'm just going to take an old brush. This is one I use for textured paint all the time. And one of the tree bases I'm making. So I'm just going to take a little spoonful of this and slap a bit on. There we are. Now you'll be able to tell whether you've put enough paint in. Basically the paint is not just for the colourant, but it's also to change the viscosity of it, so to make it thinner. And this, it literally, like, then it becomes a paint because you can just brush it about on your piece. If you find if you're putting it out and you're having a hard time, it's not moving about very well, there's two things you can do. You can either add more paint to your mix and that will thin down the filler a bit more, making it a bit more malleable, or you can just take your brush, I've got some water in there, put a tiny bit of water on the end and then just work that in. But if you're making a batch up to do your entire army, I would put an extra bit of paint in to just change the viscosity of it and make it a bit more workable. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll get this covered. I'll come. Oh no, actually, I'll put up a photo and I'll see you in the outro. And there you go, guys. I hope you found this episode helpful, and hopefully in the future it's going to save you a few quid at the same time. Like I said before, if you need to pick up any fine grit, then I do stock it on my eBay page. I'll put the link down below. If you want to grab any, I do it about as cheap as it can go. Alright, so the usuals for the video. Like it if you liked it, share everything anyone else would like to see it, and don't forget to subscribe for the next episode. Have fun, guys.